Hello everyone and welcome to a wrap-up of news stories that made the headlines this week. I am Nicole Cordoves and this is the MB Rundown. Thousands from various walks of life gathered in different locations in Metro Manila and elsewhere in the country to mark the 45th anniversary of the declaration of martial law, opposing any move to place the country under military rule as well as calling for an end to the killings. President Duterte declared September 21 as a national day of protest. At the bantayog ng mga bayani in Quezon City, martial law survivors vividly recalled the torture they suffered and the trauma that goes with their ordeal. The martial law survivors present also emphasized the need for discussions like this for the millennials to understand the true essence of martial law. At the University of the Philippines, Diliman, more than 1,000 protesters from various human rights groups, mostly students, took part in the Mass for Justice to condemn martial law and the extrajudicial killings associated to the administration's war on drugs. Kaya Natin Movement, Tindig Pilipinas, and other youth groups flocked to the UP Parish of the Holy Sacrifice at 2 p.m. for a Mass for Justice. Among the personalities spotted were former President Benigno S. Aquino III, Vice President Leni Robredo, Liberal Party senators and congressmen, among others. At the Rizal Park in Manila, thousands of protesters expressed opposition to President Duterte's war on drugs and the imposition of martial law in Mindanao. The movement against tyranny, or the MAT, formed on August 28 in the wake of the public outrage over the killing of Kian de los Santos and other minors, spearheaded the protest. Organizers said the rally was open to people of all colors, all beliefs, and all ages who want to put a stop to the extrajudicial killings and other acts of tyranny of the Duterte regime. The protest ended with the simultaneous ringing of bells and mobile phone ringtones called for by the CBCP. Meanwhile, at Plaza Miranda in Quiapo, Manila, supporters of President Duterte showed up to express their support for the government's programs on corruption, peace, and stability, while clinging to his promise of real change. A presidential complaints desk was set up at the event where people could write their concerns ranging from legal, financial, medical assistance, among others. Overseas Filipino workers from 9 other countries joined the National Day of Protest as well. Migrante International its members in Hong Kong, Japan, Qatar, Italy, South Korea, Canada, Australia, United States, and the United Kingdom to hold anti-government protests. This was held simultaneously with the demonstrations held by Migrantes' local chapters. Malacanang said the National Day of Protest proves that democracy still rules the land, following President Duterte's decision to suspend government offices under the executive branch and public schools nationwide so they can air their sentiments against the government. According to presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella, the observance of the National Day of Protest enables all people from all walks of life and persuasion to freely hold marches, demonstrations, public assemblies, and all forms of mass action to express their grievances against perceived or actual excesses and/or shortcomings of the government. Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II gave the order to the NBI to investigate the death of the 22-year-old UST law freshman Horacio Castillo III, who was found dead Sunday morning in Tondo, Manila. One of the suspects, a member of the AG student fraternity who allegedly drove the pickup that brought Castillo to the Chinese General Hospital, has left the country for Chicago, USA, according to MPD Chief Joel Coronel. He identified him as Ralph Cabales Trangia, who left for Chicago, USA last September 19 via NAIA Terminal 1, accompanied by his mother, Rosemary, via Eva Air Flight BR-262 with a connecting flight from Taipei to Chicago. Aguirre also expressed his condolences to the Castillo family and said that, as a parent, he feels their loss and anguish. He also assured Castillo's family that the government will see to it that those who are responsible will be held accountable to the full extent of the law. The Commission on Human Rights, meanwhile, has started its own investigation. CHR National Capital Region investigator Johnny Torres went to the Manila Police District Headquarters in Ermita on Tuesday to secure copies of the police spot and progress reports on the case. The move, he said, is to show that the CHR protects the rights of everyone. Apart from the NBI investigation, Aguirre said that the Department of Justice is committed to assisting the Castillo family with regards to the death of Horacio III. Because of the incident, USC Civil Law Dean Nilo Divina has suspended officers and members of the Aegis Juris Fraternity who are no longer allowed to enter the campus and attend classes. The family said Horacio III left Saturday morning to attend Aegis Juris Fraternity's overnight welcoming ceremony at UST and was supposed to be home Sunday morning. Though hesitant to join the fraternity, Castillo was finally convinced after he had been assured that there will be no hazing. While the NBI and the CHR have joined the probe, the MPD is now considering the Good Samaritan, John Paul Solano, who took Castillo to the hospital as a person of interest in the case. In the certification submitted by the officials of Barangay 133, they disputed Solano's statement that he found Castillo wrapped in a blanket on a sidewalk at the corner of Honorio Lopez Boulevard and Infanta Street in Balut, Tondo at about 7:50 a.m. Sunday, saying they did not monitor such incident. House Appropriations Committee Chairman and Davao City Representative Carlo Nograles said his panel has restored the proposed budgets of the Commission on Human Rights, the Energy Regulatory Commission, and the National Commission on Indigenous People after the heads of the three agencies met with Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. The breakthrough, announced Wednesday night by Nograles, was achieved after CHR Chair Jose Luis Chito Gascon, ERC Commissioner Jeronimo Santa Ana, and NCIP Chair Leonor Oral de Quintayo sought the help of House Majority Leader Rodolfo Fariñas and Nograles to act as the bridge between them and Alvarez. The three agencies have been dubbed the 1,000 Peso Club after they were given an appropriation of 1,000 peso each for 2018 by the House of Representatives during last week's plenary deliberations on the proposed 3.767 trillion peso national budget, or the General Appropriations Bill for next year. Nograles said that during the meeting, Gascon agreed that the CHR should extend its investigations beyond human rights violations allegedly perpetrated by state agents who also include other groups who victimize members of the police, the military, and even civilians. As for the ERC and the NCIP, Nograles said the Speaker Alvarez and Majority Leader Fariñas secured their assurance that they would start taking all the necessary steps to fight graft and corruption and carry out the full mandate of their offices. With this development, Nograles said the restoration of the budget of the CHR, the ERC, and the NCIP would already be incorporated into the final version of the General Appropriations Bill for the third and final reading by the House of Representatives. President Duterte does not expect any special treatment on the road and expects lawmakers to do the same by obeying traffic rules, Malacanang said on Tuesday. This statement was made by Malacanang when House Majority Leader Ilocos Norte Representative Rodolfo Fariñas on Monday asked traffic enforcers to extend parliamentary immunity to lawmakers if they violate traffic regulations to attend to urgent legislative tasks. Fariñas made the appeal during a briefing given to lawmakers by the Interagency Council on Traffic, or the IACT, in connection with its plans, programs, and projects in time for the Yuletide traffic congestions. Fariñas later explained that under the Constitution, congressmen and senators have parliamentary immunity and cannot be arrested while Congress is in session if the offense is punishable by not more than 6 years. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella insisted that traffic laws must be applied to everyone, including lawmakers. In foreign news, Donald Trump's administration ramped up the pressure on North Korea, warning that Pyongyang will be destroyed if it refuses to end its reckless nuclear and ballistic missile drive. North Korea shrugged off Trump's threat and called it dog's bark. The UN Security Council last Monday imposed a new set of sanctions on North Korea, but their impact depends largely on whether China, Pyongyang's ally and main economic partner, will fully implement them, and on Russia, which is hosting tens of thousands of North Korean workers. Washington's ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, kept up the rhetorical pressure, asserting that if the North should pose a serious threat to the US or its will be destroyed. Haley said sanctions had already provided a punch in the gut to Pyongyang, but that strict enforcement was crucial. Separately, Trump's national security advisor H.R. McMaster agreed that the critical thing is going to get all countries to do all they can to enforce those sanctions, to do everything they can, and to resolve this problem. Rescue crews and ordinary citizens searched through the rubble for survivors as night fell on battered cities in central Mexico, including the capital, where the death toll from a major earthquake rose to at least 226 people. The magnitude 7.1 quake toppled dozens of buildings, broke gas mains, and sparked fires less than 2 weeks after another powerful quake killed at least 98 people in southern Mexico. It also hit just hours after emergency drills marked the anniversary of a temblor that killed thousands in 1985. Among the structures damaged was the Philippine Embassy in Mexico City. The DFA assured that all officials and staff of the Philippine Embassy are safe and the government is keeping in touch with the Filipinos in Mexico. Emergency personnel in Mexico City searched frantically with picks and shovels for survivors beneath the rubble of what the sprawling city's mayor calculated to be as many as 44 collapsed buildings, including at least one primary school. 2017, there are 60 million internet users in the Philippines who spend an average of 3.36 hours a day online. With more than half of the nation's population spending a substantial amount of time on the internet, it is important to make sure that this time is used safely and responsibly. Because of this, Globe Telecom launched the Digital Thumbprint program, or the DTP, in 2015 to educate our Filipino youth on the importance of responsible online citizenship through a series of workshops. The program teaches students how to understand the impact of their online behavior and how to be safe and responsible for their online activities. Through the workshops, students learn how to discern proper online behavior, be aware of technology's impact on their social activities, and develop skills on how to use technology to help them achieve their #life goals. To ensure the program's sustainability, the workshops include a trainer's program to equip aspiring facilitators to carry out the workshops independently. Thus far, the DTP has reached 17,510 public and private high school students, while 1,842 public high school teachers have been empowered to teach the program to their students. Based on the latest impact assessment conducted by Carikin's group, 94.4% of the participants found DTP relevant, while 93.7% said it helped them build confidence in their online activities. Teachers also agreed that their students were highly engaged in their sessions. The success of the DTP in lifting the importance of digital literacy in the country has attracted a global powerhouse. Facebook is collaborating with Globe to develop materials that will equip students with skills to discern the authenticity and reliability of online information and act with empathy online. With their key message, #ThinkBeforeYouShare, Globe and Facebook will be creating a module for DTP that will help workshop participants identify misleading news content. Moreover, Facebook has also committed to further enrich the content of the first 3 modules of the DTP that deal with online security and safety, responsible online behavior and protection against cyberbullying, and empowerment through technology and innovation. Claire Levy, who is the head of community affairs for APAC of Facebook, says that it is vital to empower people to identify misleading news content when they encounter it on any platform.
At Facebook, our mission is really about building community and bringing the world closer together. And working with Globe, we're going to be reaching out through their digital thumbprint program to make sure as these communities build, they are a place of empathy and kindness, and that we're able to think before we share.
Yoli Crisanto, the Globe SVP for Corporate Communications, says that the company is glad to collaborate with Facebook in further strengthening DTP by educating youth and communities about digital truth while promoting values that respect the dignity of each person online. That in an age where there is easy access to all types of information via the internet, it is incumbent upon all of us to help educate the public, especially the youth, about proper online behavior. One of the company's sustainability focus areas is creating a digital nation. Globe, as a technology company, acknowledges the importance of having the right balance of empowerment that technology brings and the responsibility that goes with it. Schools and organizations that would like to avail and schedule facilitation of the free workshops can email bridgecom@globe.com.ph. Since 2007, the Manila Bulletin Tech News has always been the first in the country to bring home the newest iPhones before they even hit the shelves. And to celebrate 10 years of the iPhone, the Manila Bulletin presented the first ever iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus in the country yesterday during the live stream of Acoustic Fridays. Apart from relaxing music and flavorful coffee, the evening ramped up as Manila Bulletin section editor for Tech News, Art Samaniego, presented the new iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus that garnered numerous reactions online. The iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus feature an all-glass design. Both phones are powered with the latest A11 Bionic chip and come in 64 and 256GB memory capacities, and they're water and dust resistant. Both iPhones have 7 megapixels front-facing cameras and 12 megapixels rear cameras capable of 4K recording. The 8 Plus gets the upper hand by having two sets of lenses, one for wide-angled shots and one for telephoto camera. It's also designed for augmented reality by having more accurate motion tracking. Both Apple phones have Retina HD displays, with the iPhone 8 screen size being 4.7 inches while the 8 Plus has 5.5 inches. Local telecommunications companies have yet to announce as to when the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus will be available. During the ASEAN Economic Spouses Program, Senator Lauren Legarda talked about traditional weaving and how it tells a story about a nation's identity, culture, and heritage. She said that weaving culture and traditional textiles reveal a lot about the nation's identity and narrate stories of origin communities, becoming essential to a people's heritage. She recognized not only the rich culture of weaving in the Philippines, but also in the neighboring countries. She also recalled opening, promoting, and sponsoring the country's first permanent textile gallery, Hiblang Lahing Filipino, at the National Museum of Anthropology. Legarda also shared some stories of weaving traditions in the Philippines, like the Tibolis of Lake Cebu, whose abaca-made tinalak is used during significant occasions like birth, marriage, and death. The Panay Bukidnons of Kalinog, Iloilo, who employ intricate embroidery and a unique dyeing system in the creation of their traditional wear. And the Gadangs of Mountain pass on their weaving tradition to their children to unleash the creativity of the youth while incorporating in them the values of hard work, patience, and love for the culture. And for this week's thought to ponder on, the loss of a life should never be the price that one should pay for brotherhood and acceptance. And that's it for this week's edition of the MB Rundown. I'm Nicole Cordovez. Have a great weekend.